Samantha Fierke in the studio. Once again, here we go. Time for open mic radio. Take a load off, enjoy the show. This is open mic ready. That's right, it's KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. And you know what it means. It is time for Open Mic Radio. We're going to get it going with one from, we have a number of featured guests today, actually, but first one on deck, Samantha Fierke.
Holding out, feeling like my head's made of fog. I've been stuck in a game of broken chess. Breathing out, breathing in, feeling like my head's made of fog. This is out of the blue, nothing to do, drip dropping off, fighting notions to think. I submit to all the water racing down my spine. Get a grip, get a towel, and do a little bit at a time. Let the steam seep through your numbing skin, drip dropping off. Faucet's all that I hear. I submit to all the water racing down my spine.
I love it. All right, welcome to the program, everybody. It's Open Mic Radio. It is Saturday, the 2nd of September, 2023. Glad you're with us. Got a really fun show planned, all right? Stick around. And we do this most every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. We have live, most of the time, well, oftentimes, live in-studio performances and interviews with some of Missouri's finest musicians and bands. Certainly today, no different. My name is Mike Hagan. I'm not joined, as usual, by my partner, Kind Kurt, and so we had a little recorded version of our opening theme this afternoon. But, I miss him, too, and I hope he has a fun time down there at the lake without me. So, anyway, yes, we do, though. We feature awesome local and regional and international music and the artists who create it, okay? Another awesome summer weekend here in mid-Missouri. The weather's been just totally great and beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. You can feel fall on the way. And anyway, hopefully you've all had a wonderful week and you're enjoying the weekend and finding some fun out there, okay? A lot to do in the Columbia area. And, First Friday last night, so I'll have the phone lines open this afternoon if you want to give us a call and say hi and let us know what's happening out there. But always lot to do in Columbia. The students are back at Mizzou and at Stevens and Columbia College, and yeah, pretty happening out there. All right, so let us know what's happening if you got something you want to share, okay? 573-443-8255, 573-443-7380 if you want to join the party, okay? All right, we are looking forward to the show this afternoon. We'll be featuring songs and artists who will be performing next weekend at the Mo Jazz Festival, which will be down at Rose Park. And I'll be sharing some music this afternoon from the likes of Miss Samantha Fierke, certainly, the Bel Airs, Lao Tizer, Tizer, Lao Tizer, Jonathan Scales, who we've heard before, and Don Weber. So plenty of friends probably coming through the studio as well this afternoon. Memphis is not here. I'm expecting him shortly. Clark is here. We've got new friend Matt Deathrow in the house, and you're all here, and we'll see who else may drop by and say hi. Okay. All right, there you have it. It's great to have you with us. If you want to be a part of it, once again, give us a ring, 573-443-8255. Otherwise, we're just going to have some fun and hear some great music like we do on Open Mic Radio every Saturday. All right. All right, at some point, we will try to do a rundown of some of the other things that are happening around town. There's a lot going on. In fact, down on who's at the river right now? I think it's the Lutres or Looters. Maybe that's what it is. They're wrapping things up at the lake. Down at the river at Cooper's, maybe around 5:00. And then the Daves are performing tonight from 6 to 9 down at Cooper's. I'll try to go over some other stuff later, but I know that's happening right now. So if you've got something on your mind, you might head down to the river. It's always nice on a Saturday afternoon down there, especially when the weather's like this. So. Okay. One more time. Phones 443-8255, 443-7380. If you got something you want to share, maybe you have something going on, or you just want to say hi. All right. We're down here at the brand new. Still, it's not. I can still call it brand new. All right. KOPN facilities. Our new digs here. 401 Bernadette Drive. And we're really enjoying it down here. It was kind of a rough move from downtown. We had a lot of history there and a lot of just habit. That's what it is. It's habit. And but we've got a great new thing going here, and we're upgraded facility-wise. We're upgraded technologically wise. I got a brand new board in front of me. We've got really awesome new microphones. All the speakers are. I mean, the place is just. It really is. It's like it's a top level radio station, the studios. We have guys once in a while and girls that will come down from other stations around town because we're all, it's kind of a small group. We all kind of know each other, even though we're not professionals here. There are a lot of us that know each other, and I've had friends from some of the larger radio stations in town see the new studios here and be like, damn, you guys, that's awesome. So anyway, I'm thrilled that we've got it and we can share it with you. And okay. So last week, rock and roll, Hang Your Hate here in the studio. They're tearing it up and keeping rock and roll alive here in mid-Missouri. Super fun time. And if you miss a show, you can get the podcast or check out the videos that are up there as well. Anyway, the website has all that stuff. The archives are there and all the old shows that we've done. And there's some really cool and fun and really remarkable performances actually that we've had over the years. So anyway, go to Mike Hagan. It's MikeHagan, MikeHagan.com, and click on the big Open Mic Radio button, and you can get all that stuff for free. Okay. All right, a couple more things, and then we'll get back to the music here. Big thanks to Peter Rabbit, grooving on the one mic since 2 to 4. Peter really coming into his own, playing some great stuff, and check that out. 2 to 4 every Saturday, one mic. With Peter Rabbit. Before that, Morgan and a Motherland Jam. If you like music or if you don't, you'll learn to. Listen to Motherland Jam from noon to 2 on Saturday afternoons. Incredibly cool music from across the continent of Africa. Morgan Matsiga, the host of that program, is a native of Zimbabwe, the former Rhodesia, of course. But anyway, he's a remarkable dude, and he knows a whole lot about African music, and in fact, he's very familiar with many of the artists that he presents on the show. So, if you want to check that out, I encourage you to do it noon to 2. Motherland Jam with Morgan. Okay, we do it from 4 to 6, Open Mic Radio, and I'm thrilled to be here with you. And 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and Kurt's not here. Are you gonna do it, Clark? You gonna yell? It's Rashomba! And a reggae party, baby. Come on back, all right? 6 o'clock till 8, a reggae party. Raj Shimba does it to you, and he brings the best in roots rock and reggae right here in the middle of Missouri, okay? 8 o'clock to 11, Blues on Broadway. Chris, another fantastic radio program. He does a lot of really obscure blues and has the phones open as well. Does some requests. And anyway, another gentleman here at KOPN who really knows his stuff. And there's some wonderful people that do programs here throughout the week, and if you don't like KOPN right now, listen again in a few hours, because it's always changing. It's like the weather in Missouri, and I guarantee you there's something on the schedule that you like. Even if you don't like this program, there's something else you're gonna like. So anyway, okay. Yeah, okay, that's about it. All right, KOPN.org. Again, I'm Mike Hagan at MikeHagan.com. For today's show, we are joined by, well, we're going to have a few artists down here, I think, but right now in the studio, I've got Mr. Jeff Basinson, I have Samantha Fierke, and I have Matthew Deathrow. Matt's not particularly involved in the Mo Jazz Festival. I just happened to run into him the other night down at Booch's, and he's a New Orleans jazz musician. But Jeff and I are friends, and Samantha's an old regular here at the program. In fact, the song that we started off with this afternoon was recorded here in the studio last August when Sam was here with bassist Mickey Jamison, who's another just outstanding talent. So hello to all of you. Thank you for coming.
Good day.
Thank you.
Yes, Sam, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
You've had a damn exciting year.
Yes, I have.
Yeah?
A lot going on.
Okay, so for people who maybe aren't familiar, a little bit about your background, and more so, what's been happening in the last year or so. Your record Mirage was a huge hit, and you're moving forward. So
Yeah, it's about a year old now, a little bit over. I accidentally missed its birthday by a year. I didn't notice the time was flying by so fast, but about a year ago, I released my first full-length album. It was also the premiere online of my of original music. I had released an EP prior, but it was all jazz standards, kind of rearranged for our group.
Right.
And this one now, this is my baby. But yeah, Mirage is an 8-track album that we released with my good friends Mickey Jamison, that you mentioned being in the studio before, as well as Sam Luke Demeyer out from Jeff City.
Sure.
And Lloyd Warden, who's local here as well.
Yeah, and one of your mentors, I think I would have to say.
The mentor, yeah, I'd say.
All right. Well, he's great. Yeah.
But we all recorded that, and it's been getting, I think, just the right amount of attention this year that I can kind of keep my head down and keep doing my studies and doing everything I need to do. But that it's really nice to see the work pay off, and to see what I care so much about being recognized by people, and getting to meet new ears.
Well, I love it. It's a great record, and I'm hats off to you. It's really well done, and you should be proud of yourself. Now you're still at school out in Boston?
Yeah. So I'm going to Berklee College of Music in Boston right now. I'm entering my third year. I had taken a year off.
Gosh, time flies, man.
Yeah. Geez, it does. So I'm going into my third year studying jazz comp, and now under a technicality performance. But that's so I can get the extra lessons.
Gotta love the technicality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the world's all about loopholes, trust me.
I don't plan on walking out of that school with a performance degree.
Hey, Memphis Chris, in the house. How you doing, my brother?
Howdy.
All right. Okay, so I think that we should say quickly hi to Jeff here, and then maybe we'll play another song from Sam. But Jeff, what's your connection to the whole jazz scene here in town? And we have the Mo Jazz Festival coming up next Saturday, a week from today. So.
Well, yeah, actually, I used to play in a couple of bands in Columbia actually it was the early 80s to the early 90s. Old band was Pentaz, 5 guys in a jazz band. Therefore, Pentaz.
I like it. I like it.
Then we also had other bands, Triplicity, a lot of original music, but we'd also mix in a little bit of fusion and stuff that we cut our teeth on. Tom Scott and LA Express, that kind of stuff. Then eventually got involved with the jazz festival that used to be down in Jefferson City. It was called the Capitol Jazz Fest.
Right.
It started in 1992.
I was going to ask. Okay.
Yeah.
How long has it been up here in Columbia now?
We moved it up here in 2018.
I was going to say it's been 5 or 6 years.
Yes,
so.
yeah. We're into our 5th year now, with the exception of with the exception of the COVID year, which was 2020. We did a couple of
Summer of Love.
yeah. What I assume there was a greater birth rate somewhere around January or February. Is that what you're saying? So,
God, I hate to think that, but anyway, no, let's not go there. All right, let's just keep.
We did a couple of documentaries on how the Jazz Festival originated. So the first one, the part one, was about how it started in Jeff City, and had interviews with people who were involved with it when it first started up.
Cool.
And then the second one, second half, was after we moved it up here, and we had videos of them people who performed at the 2 years that we'd had under our belt once we moved it to Columbia. So, but yeah, so we've been here for 5 years. So it's been this is going to be the 31st year, and I always say it, and people always say I jinx it. We've never been rained out, and we've always been outside.
Right.
And
Rose Park if we get rain next week, it'll be. We never get rain here, so
close tabs on the weather. Up until yesterday, it was supposed to be like low to mid 90s and totally sunny. It was going to be really toasty. Yesterday morning, it says about 84 or 85 with a 6-mile-an-hour breeze.
Now we're talking.
And with the partly cloudy skies, so that ought to just really reduce the stress and sweat.
All right. Well, I hope the weather gods are listening because that's what we'd like next Saturday.
And feeling good about it.
Yeah.
For
not
sure.
feeling spiteful.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Jeff, what's your? What are you? Where are you from originally? Are you Columbia native?
No, I'm originally from St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah, so I grew up there.
How'd you get into the jazz scene? How'd you get into music originally?
My family was into it. My mom used to sing on the radio and
Really?
39 to 42 on KMBC in Kansas City.
Wow, I love it.
42 to 47 on KSD out of St. Louis.
That's amazing.
She was on a show with Russ David and his orchestra. They had a national show called St. Louis Serenade, and they picked it up. They'd have Chicago news on the NBC network.
Yeah.
And then played, I think it was WEF. I can't remember if that's New York or New Jersey.
Hey, have you ever heard on KOPN there's a show, I think it's Thursday afternoons, it's called Hepcat's Holiday?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And Carol Goodnick, fantastic host, plays some of that stuff perhaps.
Oh, absolutely.
Or similar, right?
Yeah. Then I have my siblings. Two of them pursued music. Well, one of them did it professionally. The other one decided to do it after he became a lawyer and thought, you know what, I like the music better.
Right.
And,
it's hard not to.
And then, but all of us took
fill in the blank.
Yeah, exactly. So we took lessons at St. Louis Institute of Music.
Wow.
I was the one that.
And what's your primary instrument?
Well, we were all taught piano, but I'm a bass player now.
I see.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, and before I want to play another song from Sam here in a second, but we have another bass player in the house, and I want to say hi to Matt quickly. And I know very little about Matt, except he's a good friend of mine. Well, okay, his father's a good friend of mine, and I know his brother real well, but I've only met Matt recently. But
it's good to be back in the hometown. I grew up here. I've worked at Streetside for a long time, and
so you know Kevin real well. I'm sure.
Yeah. We just did we did the reunion back in November. I came up for the reunion. It was amazing how many people came back.
Well, I'm actually expecting Kevin down here at the end of the show because he and I have something to talk about. But he's a remarkable music head. Oh my God. He knows more about music, I think, than anyone I've ever met, and I've met a lot of people that know a lot about music. And Kevin is just remarkable. He's I would say savant if I was going to use a term. He's remarkable and he's super cool. He's also a really great radio personality. If you haven't heard his radio shows, So-Called Good Life on Friday from the same time as this show, but a day earlier, so 4 to 6 on Friday afternoon. Kevin Walsh, check it out. And he also does like a jazz blues show. Well, he calls it Jazz plus Blues equals Soul is the name of his Monday evening show, and he pulls that off. So anyway, Kevin's awesome, and so you actually worked down at Streetside for a while,
a long time. I left Columbia probably around 2007. I was a tour guide in Arizona for a while. I lobbed around all over the place, and then I ended up in New Orleans about 12 years ago.
All right. And for those who weren't around during the old days of record stores, that was an incredibly cool store, and a bunch of great music went through there, and all the music people around town kind of hung out there. So anyway, it's a sort of a lost thing, but Kevin, big part of that whole thing, right? Remember Kevin's World that he had for for maybe a year or two or whatever.
For a little while, yeah. That was great.
Oh
so
my
many
gosh.
of these burned CDs.
Yeah. Love it.
That's still his email address.
Yeah, it's right. It's like kevinsworld.com. Okay, so and you a little bit about your background, if you don't mind, Matt.
I jumped into music full time about 13 years ago. Picked up the upright bass and traveled around the country. And New Orleans was the only place that really answered to what I wanted to do. I was able to play on the street there as much as I could until I afforded a place, and then it was now jumped to 5-6 years of work, and I'm doing 250 shows a year.
Wow.
With about
Are you performing with
13 different projects?
I was going to say, is it
clubs? I fill.
Do you have a primary band though that you play with, or is there a lot of
3 primary groups? I produce a show at a burlesque venue as well.
Cool.
Which is great. That's been the best job ever. The parents had to see that to believe it.
Oh, you bet. Your dad is proud.
The other groups that I play in, it's all traditional New Orleans jazz stuff, trying to keep that culture going and keep all the original songwriters there. And there's too many bands to see. All of us are working so hard we don't get to see each other, so it's kind of like busking on the street is the thoroughfare.
Well, I mean that's the busking capital of the world. If New Orleans isn't, I don't know what is.
I cut my teeth in every other part of my body on that street.
Are you're friends with Paul too, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think
Paul
you and
Weber.
Paul and I think Todd Day Wade.
Yeah, he's the one that got me out there in the first place. We were playing classic country when I went through.
Right. And Todd actually really seeing a lot of success now too. Todd's doing great out there, and he's in Nashville now.
Great songwriter.
And Todd's a classic. I mean, and his photos and stuff I love, because if you didn't know better, you would really think the photo was taken 50 years ago. Where he really looks like an old classic cowboy country guy.
It's funny in New Orleans. This is the most dressed down I've been in years. I'm usually in a 3-piece suit with a nice hat, cowboy boots. That's usually the MO all summer long, even when it's 105
Right,
degrees.
that's the way you dress when you play there.
But since I had my operation and stuff, I'm taking a break from all of it, I think.
All right.
I don't have to tie a tie for a while.
It's good to take a break, though, sometimes. Sometimes the universe forces you to take a break. So enjoy the time off, do something cool with it, and you'll be back into the music as lickety split, as my grandpa used to say.
Well, I'm glad to be here with y'all, man.
Really great to run into you, and we'll do a free shameless plug for your brother Danny, who runs Flyover, which is a really nice restaurant here in Columbia, down there off Green Meadows, on the other side of the road from Murray's. Good friends of ours as well. But Daniel has been running and is the owner proprietor.
He was a really good clarinet player and a really good saxophone player. For a while too.
You got some art in the family.
Yeah.
Your dad's no slouch.
Yeah, they let us do what we felt in our hearts, which is pretty rare to have.
I love it, and it's great to have you here. So stick around. I want to mention that Dave Pruitt from the Bel Airs is here. I think out there in the blue room or green. I'll call it the green room, even though it's blue. And we'll get Dave in here shortly. But let's play another one from Samantha, and then we'll come back and continue. What do you think?
Yeah,
Dave.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay, so since we have her here with us, I have 3 songs.
Ooh, I get to pick.
That I'm going to let you pick. So what did you send me, Jeff? I remember Butterflies, which I actually know and very familiar with. Color Me again, and Kick It Loose. We're probably going to play one more. I probably won't play the third, but we'll get 2 out of those 3. So you choose.
In that case, let's start out swinging. I'll do I Remember Butterflies.
All right, I like it. Very good. It's Open Mic Radio, and you're listening to it here on KOPN Columbia 89.5 FM. I've got Jeff Bassenson, Samantha Fierke, Matthew's in the house with us this afternoon. Memphis Chris is here. Clark's here. We've got Dave Pruitt from the Bel Airs, and we're playing some music this afternoon from artists that will be performing next Saturday at the Mo Blues, the Mo Jazz Festival. All right, and that's next Saturday afternoon. It's all day, or what is it? Like a whole thing, right?
Doors open at noon. Music starts at 1 and goes to about 8 o'clock.
Fantastic. All right, and that'll be at Rose Park. And we're hoping for good weather. And here's a little sample of what you might hear.
I remember the butterflies, and I know when I close my eyes, they'll be there. Speckled wings in my hair. Kisses on my hand from creatures so grand it hurts to see them go. But I know we've not been kind to them. Picture the day when you gotta say to the little one. I remember the butterflies and they were here, and there was no surprise, float on clouds with their wings all about. Chase them in the garden, don't matter if you scare them off, they come right back. Never knew that we'd be rid of them, but look where we are in a world where we cannot find a single one. Maybe one day you'll fly away with them, but for now it's time to stay and mend a broken heart of our dying world. And I wish I may, and I wish I might find a way for them to rejoin their flight once again. My friends. And it hurts to see them go, but I know we've not been kind to them. Picture the day when you gotta say to the little one. Maybe one day you'll fly away with them, but for now it's time to stay and mend a broken heart of our dying world. And I wish I may, and I wish I might find a way for them to rejoin their flight once again. My friend.
All right, lovely one there from Miss Samantha Fierke. That one's called I Remember Butterflies. She's got action coming up later tonight, I think. So
I do indeed.
Tell us what's happening, and I'll let you scoot out of here pretty soon.
So we've had a bunch of shows while I've been able to be back in Columbia for part of the summer, which has been really nice. So it's all culminating with Missouri Jazz Fest, but before that we've got our last headlining show tonight at oh my god, I can't, Sentinel Park. There we go. All my words disappeared.
At the new arcade district stage.
Yeah. I still haven't.
That's a cool area. Have you been down there yet?
It's so cool. It started developing like right as I moved, so I've kind of seen bits and pieces, but I haven't spent a whole lot of time over there yet.
Well, they are really doing it up over there, and all kinds of little businesses opening up, and restaurants, and real cool stuff.
I'm a sucker for beatbox.
Oh yeah. I have a good friend, Bronny, who works down there at what do you call it? Shout out to Bronny. At Beatbox. So, all right, cool. Okay, so
so we're playing there tonight. 6
You're playing tonight. All right. What else? What else you got going on? You want to share with people?
Oh goodness. Well, we've got our last little Tuesday night duo at Jazz Louisiana Kitchen,
Which is
this
really
week,
fun.
It's been so nice. It's just my pianist Sam and Sam out there.
I love it.
Playing some standards.
Sam and Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's you've been doing that on Tuesdays?
Yeah, we've been doing it every Tuesday. Anytime I get back to town.
Right, I know
we reach
you-
out. It's like, can we come
Yeah,
and just play a
you-
little bit of music?
Yeah, you stay busy.
So every
I like it.
Tuesday, 6 to 8, we're out there, and next week's my last week before I gotta book it back to school.
All right, so the Mo Jazz Festival next Saturday.
Yes.
That's the way you're wrapping it up. And okay, so again, that starts doors at noon, I think. Shows at 1, goes till about 8 o'clock at night. Where's Sam playing in the mix of all the different artists that are there?
Number one. First
Okay.
one up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you're awesome, and I love you, and keep it going, and get through school and all that
Thank
stuff.
you. I
Tell your
need
father
it.
I said hi, and I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna let you choose this one. I'm gonna play.
Okay.
I'm gonna play Color Me.
All right.
I love it, and we'll come back and we'll talk with. The Bel Airs, and who else we have here? Matt's still here, and actually, let's say hi to Dave Angle real fast, because Dave's playing at the Daves are playing down at Cooper's at 6 o'clock tonight. Who's at Cooper's right now? I think they're called what's
The Lutras.
the Lutras? I call them the Looters. Is what I call them, but it's a French spelling or
It's,
pronunciation.
It appears to be the same as the river.
Dave, grab that mic real
So
fast.
Dave's mic.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as the river, Lutra.
Oh, is that?
But I have not heard the Lutras, and I am impressed, Sam, by this picture that is in the Mo Jazz Music Festival pamphlet.
Oh, thank you. I didn't take it.
I didn't
It's,
look at
Sarah
it. What is
Mostello's
it?
Oh, it's
work.
captivating. It has a dissolution aspect to it that is pretty cool.
It's the same as
It's
the
hard to
album
describe.
cover.
It's the album cover.
Visually.
Yeah, that's the Mirage album cover. yeah, and it's a great record.
Oh,
It's a great record.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry I didn't know that was the album cover.
Oh,
Well,
no.
Now you do.
And because Sam,
I'll send you a
and
copy
I,
tomorrow.
We played the last time at Cooper's. You guys were there before, and we
yeah,
played
yeah, you
after.
played
That was
And I-
actually
With
like 2
Tony
weeks
and-
ago or
Yeah,
whatever.
it
when-
was really beautiful. That
It was I was really worried it was going to be way too hot that day, and it was just right.
But I'm talking about your music.
Oh, my music?
The weather was nice, but your music was beautiful in that.
Thank you.
I had, it took me, it rolled over me quite enthusiastically, and I was very glad to be present for that.
Thank you. I'm so glad to hear
thank
it.
you.
Well, and since
and-
we're talking about it, that was the same day that your son and at least one of his band members played here
Talking about
at the
that.
station, and they're called New Moon. And his name is Max Angle, and he plays with a gentleman named Cameron Watson and another young man named Tony Liu. Andy Liu, I'm sorry. But check them out for some 17, 18-year-old musicians. They are kicking it.
So the circle continues,
love
right?
it. Love it. Love it.
yeah.
Love it.
So thank you for the beautiful thing that you do here, Mike.
You're my man,
I'm glad
all right?
to soak up this love.
Absolutely. Have a
Sam,
great show
break a
tonight.
leg.
Thank you.
You
Thank you so
deserve
much.
everything you're getting because what that set was really, really awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. I wish I'd been able to stay for yours. I was sweating too much. I had to leave.
All right, Dave Angle and the Daves. Hey, how many Daves tonight?
Cinco.
Okay, 5 Daves tonight. So
It's going to be the last one with Dern for a little bit.
okay, very good. All right, check out the Daves tonight down there by the river. Okay, 6 to 9 at Cooper's Landing. Fantastic music. Okay, if you like Delta blues and sort of some stretch and stuff around that. Okay. Samantha Fierke, you're out of here. Thank you for coming. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Have a great show tonight. Have fun down there, and we'll play one here called "Color Me." We'll come back and talk with Dave from the Bel Airs, and we'll go from there. Okay, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, KOPN.org, and that's about it.
Color me in peach, paint me rose, and I'll be happy. Cover me in daisies, drench me in tea, and I'll be glad. Oh, I'll be glad. Oh. now a bubbly and sarcastic, has taken over me, and I personify the feelings that you said I ought to be, seeping into my life. Couldn't be rid of you day or night, you're right. Your eyes so color me in peach, paint me rose, and I'll be happy. Cover me in daisies, drench me in tea, and I'll be glad. Oh, I'll be glad. Oh, I'll be glad.
All right, another one there from Samantha Fierke. That one's called Color Me. You can catch Sam tonight down at the Arcade District, down at the Sentinel stage, or as Kurt would say, the Sentimental stage, or the Centennial stage. Anything but the Sentinel stage, right? Anyway, Samantha Fierke and the band down there tonight. Okay, all right, Jeff Bassettson. You mentioned.
I was going to say something about
what's
Samantha. Last year we had surveys at our festival, and we were asking if you wanted to see it, what type of music or what particular groups would you like to see.
Right.
When we got all of our totals on it, the vast majority of
this was after the festival.
After the festival.
I see. All right.
And they said Samantha Fierke.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty nice. So we wanted to make sure that they were satisfied and will be willing to come back.
You know, it's a. There aren't a lot of jazz singers out there. You don't hear a whole lot about them. There may be a lot of them, but you don't hear much about it, right? I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, and Sam's definitely she's made some waves and made people sort of pay attention to that.
Yeah.
I would like to quickly switch gears and say we have a phone call here. So hi, Open Mic Radio. Who's this?
Kurt, first time listener, long time caller.
Well, I am so glad. You know, I miss you, my brother, and now I don't miss you anymore.
Like a hole in your head.
You're here. You are. You're like a sliver in my brain. That's a compliment, believe it or not.
Miss Moon.
Hey, hi Moon. Hey Moon, how are you? Are you feeling better? I hope so.
Yeah.
Good.
Some worms and couldn't help but think about you.
All right. Well, we love you. This is Kurt and Moon down there at Lake of the Ozarks doing some fishing this evening. So, Kurt.
Hey, y'all are sounding good. I like the Fierke tunes.
Well, you were here last year when we recorded that one. That was outstanding. We did some. There were 3 or 4 that we did that afternoon that were just really good.
Her and Mitch, phenomenal.
Well, Mickey, Mitch, whatever.
Or Mickey.
All right, Kurt. I love you, brother.
That's what I just had.
Thanks for calling in, and I'll see you in a couple days. All right. Have a good little vacation down there.
Hey, guess what, man? Guess who I just passed?
What?
So I was way down the station.
What do you mean?
Huh?
What?
I just passed somebody on the way to the station.
You passed someone on the way to the station?
Yeah, he's on his way right now. You know who it is.
Who is it? It's a reggae party, baby. 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock.
Put your shoes on and get those worms on your fishing pole.
That's right. I love you, brother.
Love you.
I'll talk to you soon. That's right. Rashimba, 6 to 8. Get your dancing shoes on. Spin yourself a big fat Bob Marley joint and pop yourself a red stripe and enjoy the roots rock reggae music coming to you live from mid-Missouri. All right? Okay, let's get back to business here on Open Mic Radio. We have Dave Pruitt from the Bel Airs with us as well this afternoon. And Dave, first time you've been down here, at least on this program. I know you're familiar with Kevin. Hey, Kevin Walsh in the house, by the way. Speaking of musical savants, hi Kevin, and him and
excuse to run into the Pruitt.
that's right.
Yeah, Vaughn.
All right. So, Dave, thanks for coming. All right.
Yeah, hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. So you guys are Bel Airs, obviously, sort of. Let's talk about jazz standards or whatever. You're sort of standards around here for many, many years, and for people who aren't familiar, a little bit about the background, and then what you got coming this weekend.
Yeah, we're guys that from Missouri, ended up in Columbia a long time ago. My brother and I have been playing music since the early 80s. And we've been traveling all over the place since then. And we're back in town, and we're doing this thing a week from today down at Rose Park.
That's right, along with Samantha Fierke. We've got, who else, Jeff, if you go through the list?
Yeah, Don Weber and Good Company out of St. Louis.
Don Weber, awesome.
Yeah, Jonathan Scales Fourchestra. They're out of North Carolina.
Orchestra, that's great.
Yeah, and
you can take that so many ways,
yeah,
you know.
But it's FOUR, and it's a three-piece. So,
right.
But yeah.
Oh, now that's really funny.
And the last group is Lao Tizer band featuring Eric Marienthal, sax player.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are you familiar with some of the other artists that are coming through this year, Dave, or no?
I have not. I've heard about Samantha, and people have been raving about her in this area for quite a while, and I'm going to get a chance to go see her sing tonight. So that's something I'm looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to seeing her next Saturday.
Have you been down to that arcade district stage yet?
Yes, I have. We played a show last summer down there.
Oh, and they were. I mean, that was like early. They were just getting it going.
Yeah, I think we were one of the very first ones.
I was going to say, yeah. All right, cool. All right, what's the makeup of the band on Saturday, next Saturday?
My brother Dick singing, playing bass. Mike Cherry is our drummer, and I play guitar and sing.
Three-piece.
And there we go. That's it.
All right, very good. And what are you typically? Are you traveling around a lot? Are you doing a lot of shows, or is this sort of a one-off, or how often are you guys performing?
We've been doing a lot of shows this summer, a lot of traveling. We just got back from dates in Wisconsin. Before that, Nebraska and Arkansas and
cool.
all around Missouri. So a lot of driving this summer.
And I'm playing with other bands, or are you booking your own stuff, or how's it?
Festivals and clubs.
Cool.
Mixing it up.
Enjoying it?
Very much so. We just had a great festival up in Wisconsin last Sunday, I think it was. The weather was cool. It was about 10 degrees cooler.
Like what part of Wisconsin?
That was up north. It was near Two Rivers.
Well, I'm from the Chicago area, so I'm familiar with like southern Wisconsin, but not much when you get north of Madison and stuff like that.
Yeah, north of Milwaukee, about an hour and a half.
All right, cool. All right. Hey, Kevin Walsh, hi.
Hi, I didn't expect to run into Dave.
Well, you never know.
Now that we're asking him questions,
look out, Dave.
I'm at an age where I like to put two and two together with people. You guys, the Pruitt brothers, when I first moved to town, were presences on the Columbia music scene, both as musicians, and Brother Bob was both a great slide player, one of the best ever here in Central Missouri, but also a genius sound guy. And so you come from a musical family from Northwest Missouri. Is it Northwest Missouri, Maryville? You're from, correct?
You got it.
So that was you.
Tell me a little bit about
that. Was the Pruitt brother? That was you guys that Kevin's talking about.
Yes, this is the Pruitt. Yeah. These guys and Bob.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just making sure. Yeah.
He used to play around town. I'm just wondering about. It's a musical family. There's another brother too, isn't there?
4 brothers.
Yeah, is he musical?
He is.
And why do you think in a small town like Maryville, like how did that develop?
Isn't that weird?
I mean,
that's a tough
all 4
question.
of you became are proficient musicians. I mean, well, what were you listening to? Was it your dad or was it radio?
It was the music around the house is where it started.
So family.
Yeah, it was like.
Your parents play?
My mother played piano.
Important.
But it was it was the Count Basie and the Louis Armstrong that they dug, on the Ella Fitzgerald records.
Nat King Cole.
So, Ink Spots.
You seem really firm-footed in the jazz, like especially the behind the beat stuff. Is there a Missouri kind of Western style you attribute to Maryville? I always associated you guys with kind of the Western part of this state and mid-Missouri, of course. But
that's right. We definitely had more of an affinity to Kansas City than St. Louis, as far as stylistically and that kind of thing.
So in kind of like transferring the blues to jazz, which is easy for you guys, I'm sure. How did you fall back into the jazz thing? You've been doing a lot of that lately. You seem very comfortable doing it too.
Well, this particular gig is because my brother here, Jeff,
Right.
called me up and
But
said,
you've been
"Hey,
doing
play
all
the
kinds
Missouri Jazz
with your
Festival."
daughter, and Sean's
this
daughter.
is
You've been doing jazz
true.
things, and you play with. So have you found yourself as you get older simplifying things that way, or what? What's the?
Man, you want me to dig deep,
I
Kevin.
don't know.
I got to get into my own psychology. To figure
Has it
this out.
always been there?
Yeah. So I mean, I've always dug. I've always dug.
That's
all
what I
kinds
was
of
looking for, I guess.
and because there was kind of jazz around the house, and then with my friends in school, it was rock and roll, and when I was alone in my basement, I was playing. It was like kind of Delta blues was kind of the first thing that really sent me.
Yeah.
You got that
But
where?
also the gigs around town were at the country bars.
Oh, really?
And that's what I started doing. So
Well,
it's,
that explains it.
so let's see. There's about 4 kinds of American kinds of music that I was digging up, up until I was 21.
Was it brother bands from the get-go?
My 2 older brothers, Dick and Bob, played together.
Mm-hmm.
They had too many guitar players in the bands. They said, "Sorry, Dave."
right, that's a common one.
So it was my. I had to get my own bands together,
Well,
and
there you go.
it was years later that I actually got to play, professionally with them, with my brothers.
And just to bring us up to speed, I first saw you with the Henry Clay lineup, which was a classic Henry Clay lineup, correct? At Faces, maybe,
Yeah.
And then
Believe
up
it.
through the quartet of the Bel Airs, and now with you've evolved into just such one of the
Let's play-
sterling
let-
things I point to: the Katy Trail,
Let's
Bel
play one.
Airs, and a few other things. Missouri,
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
You want the Missouri sound?
Right.
I just point no. Yeah,
Hey, that's right.
Look no further, really.
All right, so Jeff, we've got a few
Thanks.
from the Bel Airs here. Let's do one. Kevin, you're my man, and Kevin does a show. Well, you've got a couple actually during the
I've
week.
got
but
Jeff on my show. When are we doing, Jeff?
8:30-ish on Monday.
8:30 on Monday.
That's Jazz plus Blues equals Soul, 8 o'clock.
To it.
And then Fridays 4 to 6, So-Called Good Life. Fantastic stuff
I
with
didn't
Kevin
mean
Walsh,
to
right?
come out of the bag.
No, man, I love it. You know what? When Kevin shows up at my show, that's like a win. I love it. So.
Actually, David and I have a history of having our picture taken together.
Oh well, here we go.
You do.
I'm gonna start a history of playing some music here of the Bel Airs.
Yeah.
What should we do, Jeff?
I was going to say it's from
Maybe I should ask of Mr. Pruitt what he'd like to hear.
It's from the 2014 Capitol Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
That was the last time we had them come play, and since jazz and blues, they're like kissing cousins. I mean, they can easily go from one to the other real easy.
Yes.
So I picked just a few tunes from that 2014 gig you guys did.
Oh, cool.
How about She Belongs to Me?
That one's rocking.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Huh?
You got it.
Yeah, all right, that's what I'd like.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do. All right,
Roll it.
It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. I'm on the web at mikehagan.com, and check this one out. This is the Bel Airs. It's called She Belongs to Me. You can get a full mouthful of this stuff next Saturday at Rose Music Hall out in the park with the Mo Jazz Festival. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
She's the sweetest little thing in the whole darn world. Oh, baby, she fine. Yeah, unique. Everything about my baby so sweet. Said that I'm glad, man, I'm glad she belongs to me. Hey, yeah, you ought to see her when she walks right down the middle of the street. Oh, she make a dumb man talk. She make a blind man see. Oh, baby, she fine. Yeah, unique, yeah. Everything about my baby so sweet. Said I'm glad, man, I'm glad she belong to me. She belong to me. Oh, my baby, baby. Hey, yeah, all right. Said I'm glad, yes I'm glad she belonged to me. Oh, I'm so glad, man I'm glad, baby she belonged to me. Yeah, I love her in the morning, I love her in the evening too. I love her through the night, yeah, she's making everything alright, alright. I love her in the evening, hey, love her in the nighttime too. She's making everything alright, making everything alright, yo, making everything alright, alright.
All right, that's right. That's the Bel Airs. You listen to it here. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. I'm going to keep playing music. I like it. We're going to do another one. This is Hoodoo Party. And back in a few minutes, and we'll chat some more with the gang.
Voodoo queen, throw a little party down to New Orleans. Heard a woman scream when I turned around. Cadillac slims rolling town, boogie chillin'. Yeah, right. Yeah, boogie chillin'. Come boogie woogie chillin'. Boogie till the break of dawn. I said the king and the queen is all dressed in red. 24 diamonds up on the head. Heard the Martha Brown telling Sioux City Sue, Slimmy don't move me like he used to do. So boogie chillin'. Yeah, boogie chillin' now. I said boogie woogie chillin'. I boogie till the break of dawn. Hey, now, yeah, child. You know we rocked and we rolled till the break of day. Two by two they all went away. Well, everybody's wondering just where and when the king and the queen is gonna boogie again. So boogie chillin', hey, yeah, boogie chillin'. Said boogie woogie chillin', boogie till the break of dawn. Yeah, you're right. Woo. I said the king and the queen is all dressed in red. 24 diamonds up on the head. Heard the Martha Brown telling Sioux City Sue, Slimmy don't move me like he used to do. So boogie chillin', yeah, yeah, boogie chillin' now. Come on, boogie woogie chillin', boogie till the break of dawn. I boogie chillin', well down in New Orleans, boogie chillin', yeah, down in the city, boogie chillin', deep in the corner, now boogie chillin', up down the bayou, yo. I boogie woogie chillin', down in New Orleans, boogie woogie chillin', deep in the city, boogie woogie chillin', I boogie till the break of dawn. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, all right. How about it? The Bel Airs. Hey, Dave, who's doing the vocals there?
My brother.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Which one?
Dick.
Okay.
a good question. I think I was chanting a little bit
right.
on that one also.
I love it. I love it. Excellent stuff. All right, and the Bel Airs catch them next Saturday down at Rose Park, along with Sam, and we're going to play some music from Lao Tizer, and we've got some other stuff lined up for the next hour of the show. But you looking forward to it? I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Fantastic.
We got to do one of these. I don't know.
2014.
9 years ago.
Really, that's the last time you've done it.
And
Yeah.
that was down south.
Yeah, from Jeff City.
We had a great time and really enjoyed. Looking forward to this one. See the lineup. It's just going to be terrific. Weather's going to be great. I can't
Awesome.
wait.
What else you have going on? You have other stuff coming up. If people, okay, a couple of things. Contact information. If people want to get a hold of you and get you to play a show, please let them know. And also, what do you got coming up this for the rest of the year and into next year?
Check out belairs.com.
Okay.
It's got shows, contact information, etc., and where we're playing and how to get a hold of us.
Very good. All right. Recorded material. Anything happening? You guys recording new stuff, or if people want stuff that you've already done, is there a way to get a hold of that stuff?
Yeah, that same website has got recordings available that you can download, you can buy. We don't have any new recordings. We're always thinking about it, and
Right.
we've got live stuff.
Aren't we all?
We got live stuff that we're thinking about, trying to figure out, how to get that mixed like we like it, and we shall see.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thanks for coming down this afternoon. You're welcome to hang around. I'm gonna play one more from the Bel Airs here, and then actually we're right top of the hour too. So I'll remind everyone that they're listening to KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. And this program is called Open Mic Radio, and we do it Saturday afternoons from 4 to 6, live music and interviews with lots of awesome musicians from all around. And today we're proving it. Okay. All right, here's one from the Bel Airs. This is called The Blues is Walking. Yeah.
Yeah, thank heaps, Mike.
Cheers, dude. The Blues is Walking. This is the Bel Airs. Back in a minute.
Is all over town. I said that people are talking, all right, about what's going on. Talking about the sinking sun, yeah, about the burning moon. Talking about the smoking gun. Tell me about who is who. Well, blues is walking. It's all over town. I said, Robert Johnson, yes, Robert wears the crown. You got your big mama Thornton, all right. She takes the cake with just a slice of life. Yes, it is the madness sake. Fatal thing. Well, it's a troubled sky. Blues will make a poor man sing. Yes, will make a rich girl cry. I said the blues is a walking, is in my shoes. Well, just like a mountain, yes, tell me that's on the move. Well, if you don't understand it, oh no, what the mojo means, why you ain't never been, oh no, you ain't never seen. Hey, is all over town. I said it's taking names. Yes, and he's making another song. Alright, sounds just like the wind. Ooh, when you call it chill. Sound like every little thing, everything you're ever gonna feel. It's like that fortune squirrel. Ooh, she done sprung a leak. Well, it's all because of, well, Miss Mystique. Why that blues is a walking, is all over town. Oh yeah, I tell you, Jimmy Rogers, yeah, he's Chicago bound. All right, you know the blues is a walking. All right, got his big head to the ground. All around he hears this crazy sound. The blues is a walking. All right now, hey, all over this town. I know that the blues is a walking. All around, all over your town. All over where the blues is a walking. Here right now, all over this town. I said the blues is a walking. Right now, yes, it's walking now.
Yeah, the blues is walking is right. All right, they'll be walking right over your ass next Saturday at Rose Park, the Mo Jazz Festival. And I want to say, like, I guess I always want to say the 5th annual or whatever, but it's been going on for many years. Been up here in Columbia since 2018, I guess, right, Jeff?
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so once again, you can catch the Bel Airs there next weekend. Samantha Fierke, who was with us just a little bit ago, she'll be there with her band. We've got Lao Tizer on the bill. Dawn Weber, I love her band, fantastic. And who's the one? Who am I forgetting? Oh, Jonathan Scales.
Jonathan Scales, Fourchestra.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. So, anyway, the Bel Airs, Dave, awesome, and congratulations for doing it for so long and for doing it. You know, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Saturday. I'll be down there. So.
All right. Come early. Stay late.
That's right. That's right. Once again, the Bel Airs, and it's not the Bel Air for the website. It's belairs.com, not the Bel Airs. Correct?
That's right. You got it.
All right, belairs.com. Check them out next weekend, all right? Appreciate you being down here, Dave. All right. All right, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We've got Jeff Bassenson with us, and Matt Deathrose with us as well. Matt's a musician. Well, he's from around here originally, but plays down in New Orleans these days. I've got some music from Matt that we're probably going to get to down here in a little bit. But first, Jeff, let's talk a little bit more about some of the artists that aren't actually here with us this afternoon. I'd like to play at least one or two from Dawn, and we'll get one from Lao and some Scales.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Bel Airs are Samantha's first in line. Starts at 1, goes to about 2.
Okay.
If we're able to do our 20-minute changeovers, which we should be able to do, Bel Airs start at 2:20 and play till 3:20. Dawn Weber and Good Company, which is a 6-piece, will go from 3:40 to we're going to give her an extra 5 minutes, so she goes 5:05.
Okay.
Yeah, unless we start losing time because of the changeovers.
All right.
And after that would be at 5. Well, I can't even remember the numbers, but it's going to be Jonathan Scales Fourchestra is going to be the 4th group, and then Lao Tizer.
We'll wrap it up.
We'll do a full 90-minute set.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so and there's a 4-piece and with a vocalist.
Right,
so.
right. Okay, well, you know, I've mentioned before on the show how it used to be that you never really knew when a band was going to come on stage. It didn't matter what they told you on the ticket or whatever. But that's changed a lot. I mean, things are actually now. It seems like they say they're coming on at 8. They come on at 8. You know, and I think that. The timelines have gotten a little bit tighter, and I like it. I think it's a a good thing. So anyway, hopefully everybody gets in and has plenty of time to play and change over, and it's going to be a fantastic afternoon.
Yeah, we're hoping for that. I do want to let you know that parking is going to be at a premium.
You know it.
Yeah, because it's a home football game.
Oh, Lord.
And it's also Mizzou's Parents' Weekend. And if you're looking for hotels, those all got booked up somewhere around March. So fortunately, we didn't have to, some of the guys coming in from out of town, fortunately, we didn't have to send them to Kingdom City or anything. We actually found a place just 3 miles from downtown.
Send them to Kingdom City. Yeah. That sounds like a metaphor for something else.
Yes, the Kingdom of Callaway, Kingdom City. So.
I love it. Hey, also, this is a total side swipe, but I keep forgetting that I have how many tickets here? I have some tickets to the Mousetrap, which is a play that's happening at the Arrow Rock Lyceum Theater in Arrow Rock, Missouri, and I think it's on September 8th. Yeah, so next Friday. And if you've not been there, it's really cool, actually. Yeah. The Lyceum Theater is and it's a professional group of actors and actresses as well. I guess they're all actors now, right? There are no actresses anymore. At any rate, the people that are in the plays are really good. and if you want a couple tickets to that, call me here at 573-443-8255. Once again, that's the Mousetrap. It's Friday, September 8th at the Lyceum Theater, and I'd be glad to share these with you. Okay.
Great theater, yeah.
It really is cool down there. Yeah. All right. So why don't we play? What should we do, Jeff? Who should we play?
I
keep talking about Don Weber. I want to play Don Weber.
Yeah, go ahead and let's see. For that one, let's see what we've got.
What do you want to do?
To give you an idea, we can go with the one that she's written 2 of the 3. The other one was written by a sax player in St. Louis.
Okay.
She does do vocals as well as play trumpet and flugelhorn.
Right. The flugelhorn, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like out of Dr. Seuss. I always think it's like a Dr. Seuss instrument.
Right. Some of the things from
the flugelhorn.
Yeah, from whatever the
Cat in the Hat or whatever, right?
Yeah, it wasn't Grinch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dumb Flugels or something. I can't remember what they were called, but yeah. I mean, it's she always finds like top flight musicians out of St. Louis, and they just really gel and bring a lot of people up to the stage to basically. Just
Where's she from?
Well, originally I think she's from one of the states out east, but she's been living in St. Louis for a very, very long time.
Okay,
and. She has a bunch of other side groups. She's got an electronic band as well. Huh. She does something called, I cannot remember the names of these things, sadly. She has something, it's called, I think it's Swunk. So it's swing and funk. Yeah. And it's some of the tunes that she's going to be playing, but with a completely different feel. So... She's unique.
I guess Fwing was out of
so. Be the other option, but so it's always a good time. She's always just a real positive thing, persona on stage, and she does really bring in the people to engage. So she's just really, really good. That's why this is our 4th time we've had her since we first learned about her in 2013.
All right. Well, I've got Scuffle, I guess it is, and Hear My Prayer and Catch Dawn, or just Catch. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's Scuttlebutt, and Hear My Prayer is the one that if you want vocalists, that would be the Hear My Prayer, and then we could follow it up something with like Catch, which is one of her original instrumentals.
Well, I just like to say Scuttlebutt, so I'm gonna play that one.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, and then we're gonna come back and we'll play another one after we do this one. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, and this is Don Weber.
Let's give it up for Brian Fritz on the saxophone. Ladies and gentlemen, on the drums, Mr. Andrew Bethany.
Holy cow. Wow, awesome stuff there. Dawn Weber, all right? Check that out. She's going to be with the rest of the crew next Saturday at Rose Park. And, off the air, Jeff and I were just chatting, and we haven't mentioned it yet, but this is a free show.
Yeah, it's free, open to the public, family friendly.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're getting top shelf jazz. Yeah. All right, and open to the public, free.
Is it a sliding scale? Like if people have a lot of money, they can just give you a lot of money?
Yeah, sure. Right.
We will never turn it down.
That's what we always say.
Well,
act your wage, not your shoe size.
That's right. And that's a good time to ask for KOPN sponsorship as well, because this is community-sponsored, volunteer-run radio, and we survive. We get a little bit from the feds, but they're total douchebags, and you cannot count on them because they also attach a bunch of strings to everything. So if you want to keep community radio alive and well in mid-Missouri, send a few bucks KOPN's way every once in a while, okay? Mm-hmm. And you can do that on the web at kopn.org. And we do a pledge drive every once in a while, but on the web you can do it anytime, and we'd sure appreciate it, okay? Okay, so Jeff Bassenson, dude, I love what you're doing with the jazz community here in mid-Missouri, and it's going to be a fantastic show next Saturday, I think. Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a great lineup with a couple of bands returning, that have already played up here. Jonathan Scales played in 2018. Dawn Weber was 2019. And they had such good response that's why we decided to bring them back again. So, but it's free, open to the public, family friendly. I would like to tell you a little bit about what the venue expects of you. Oh gosh. So also I can tell you what they expect out of me, and that's nothing. But I know you. For security reasons, when you come through, they will be wanding you, so be prepared to be wanded. So if you have like leave a pocket, your guns at home. And if you have a pocket knife on you, you're going to have to leave that back in the car too. Okay, pocket knives in the car. No big purses, no backpacks. And now they do have a restaurant that's open there, so you can't bring in your own food. Now, what you can bring is your own chairs. You can also bring in blankets, because if you're familiar with the outdoor stage, bring your own weed. You can do that now. Yeah, so long as they stay legal now. Yeah, so long as they stay downwind from the stage. So because that's actually one of the things we've had vapes and cigarettes, and it usually bothers the performer. Okay. So and you kind of they actually have something like that very similar down at Cooper's.
that stuff's usually out of the area where people are sitting.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, very good.
But yeah, I mean, but they will have, because we were thinking it's going to be pretty hot. They are going to have some water coolers available if people have the small personal water bottles or something, and they're dry when they come in. They can fill those up if they want to drink some water and stuff. But let's see what else we got. Yeah, folding chairs, blankets. And in terms of animals, unfortunately, no support animals, no pets, but registered service animals will be allowed in.
Okay.
Right, and as if we had,
so you can't just put the service dog strap around your dog and this act like it.
Well, you can, but if you get caught, it's usually not a good thing.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, we were also mentioning that it is Mizzou football weekend. And I don't know if we said this on mic or before.
Yeah, parking's going to be.
Yeah, parking's going to be a bear. There's 2 parking garages on Walnut. One is at Walnut and Short Street, and the other one's at Walnut and 8th. It's just a couple of blocks from the venue. And since the weather is going to be relatively nice, walking downhill is not going to be too bad for you. Yeah. And by the time the thing's over, it'll cool off. So walking back uphill will be pretty easy too.
All right. Okay. So yeah, amazing. Happening next weekend at Rose Park, Saturday. Doors at noon. Show starts at 1. It'll go till 8 or 9, I guess. And a bunch of outstanding artists, and it'll be a lot of fun. And if you want to come down there and say hi to me, I'll be down there too. And I think some of the other kind of friends of the program here will be down there with me. So we're getting a little tight on time. I'm looking at, let's do one from let's do some Scales.
Okay,
let's talk about him and his 3-piece 4-band.
Yeah, it's a 3-piece. It is steel pan is the lead instrument. There's bass player and there's also a drummer. And
Matt's shaking his head. Are you familiar with these guys?
No, I've just seen this setup before. I was recently in Jamaica not too long ago, and there was actually they had these steel drums that were for the bass, and they were just giant,
really
50-gallon drums. They just had these huge notes on it. They let me play on it.
Yeah,
incredible.
Was it cool?
Yeah, it's the coolest thing ever. Yeah, it was great.
I love it. Okay.
Well, yeah. Anyway, they're very big on polyrhythm stuff, and if you do play the,
I know a girl named Polyrhythm.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, not really.
Burlesque dancer.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, it's. It was written the way that Jonathan described how he made it. He had a contract to do something with somebody, create some music for him, and then he found out just about a week or two beforehand that he wasn't going to get paid for it, and so he got. This is what he said. So he got pretty angry and decided to write this, and it's called The Trap. And I would highly recommend you play that, because that's the one that pretty much turned all the heads back in 2018. Because we're like, never heard anything like this before.
Well, I'll tell you what, without further delay, let's do that. Okay, let's listen to. Actually, quickly, I want to talk to Clark about the drums on that last that Don Weber track, because you were in drum heaven there for a minute.
Oh yeah, I was right along with it. Very inspired, actually.
Yeah, and like say, I mean, I don't get it.
There's a lot of notes.
Because I'm not a very
productive.
I mean, I like to play the drums. I'm not very good, but like
that, I
productive
tend to most
notes.
of the time.
Well, no, it's certainly some quick
soft notes, loud notes, when to apply pressure, when to not. That kind of thing.
All right, very good. I love. Yeah, no, Clark's a man of few words, but he knows the drums. I'll tell you that much. So
you'll like this next drummer too. His name's Mason Guidry. And you're going to like him a lot.
All right, here's The Trap from Jonathan Scales, Mason Guidry on the drums. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Holy cow! Live music too. I mean, the fact that was, and pardon me, Open Mic Radio, KOP in Columbia, but we're listening to music right there from Jonathan Scales and his 3-piece outrageous jazz Fourchestra. And man, oh man, talk about. I mean, that's great.
Wow.
Outstanding. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Really, and here next weekend.
Yeah, they're going to be here next weekend. They're the 4 slot, about 5:05 or so, or something like that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so yeah, that's what you got coming next weekend. If you're paying attention, great jazz.
That show is free.
Yeah, free.
That's incredible.
Yeah, down there in Rose Park, it's going to be an awesome evening and an afternoon, and so we'll see you there. Okay, it's Open Mic Radio, KOP in Columbia. I've got Jeff Bassenson, Matthew is with us as well. Matt, you play music down in New Orleans, and I've actually got some music of yours that you shared with us this afternoon. So before the end of the show, we're going to play a song or two of yours.
Okay.
But you mentioned a little bit earlier in the show that you do all kinds of stuff down in New Orleans. You're playing with all kinds of different projects or whatever.
Yeah.
But is there a method to the madness? Do you have a
There's a
do you have a goal here? Like, in other words, do you want to eventually have like the
goal's been already far exceeded, man. The fact that I'm alive and doing this still is payment enough, you know.
But for example, though, to put a band together, like have your band.
Recently I put together a band just for fun for my birthday. I recently turned 40, so I put together a band of some of my favorite musicians in New Orleans.
Okay.
And I just did Roger Miller covers all night long. It was fun, just for fun. And I had some of the best musicians backing me up. I had backup singers, fiddle players, trumpet players. That's the thing about New Orleans. There's about 1,000 different great musicians that want to just have fun. That's what it's all about.
I love it.
You just want to have a good time.
All right. And how often do you get back here to see the family and stuff?
About once a year, but I was telling somebody else, I haven't left New Orleans for more than 2 weeks in like 8 years. Because I'm always just afraid I'll lose my job. I'm going to lose the weekly slot. Because that's how we got most of our jobs in New Orleans.
Just being
people
there.
That went on tour for too long.
Right.
You scoop right in, take their spot. You never know.
Yeah. All right, Matt Deathrow on the bass, and okay. So I'm going to ask what's going on with your arm.
About a year ago, I was diagnosed with rare bone disease. It's like a genetic disease called Kainbock's disease.
Kainbock's?
Yeah. Kienbock.
Okay.
It just affects one bone in the hand, sometimes on both hands, but for me it was my non-dominant hand, the lunate bone. It's like right in the middle.
The hand bone's connected to the wrist bone, and the wrist bone's connected to the arm bone. The arm bone's connected to
That's what they tell me.
That's what I heard, at least. Yeah.
So
That's not all I know about it.
I had to get surgery for it last week. And it's one of those things I had to
Well, so you're only
do a lot of research.
You're only a week out of surgery, though, right now.
Yeah.
Well, you seem pretty pleasant.
I've just tried to stay positive about it. That's why I came back up to Missouri. I can get the proper medication and the proper care.
You got your mom and dad here.
Yeah, exactly. Weed's legal up here, so I had to, as a jazz musician, come back and hang out. I'm going to be out of commission, but for playing upright bass for quite some time.
Okay, quickly. Normally, we do a section in this program that we call it's like the gearhead thing, and we usually do it when we have live stuff happening in the studio, but we haven't done it today. And I just got a text that said no gearhead today, so I'm going to ask you. So, what type of bass do you play typically, and a little bit about your setup when you're performing?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, as an upright bass, it's like it's huge.
And Jeff, you can chime in too here because you're
bass player,
right along the same lines.
Solidarity, man.
Yes.
Right home.
Knuckle bump there. If no video, just so you know.
The upright bass, it's mainly just getting that instrument around on its own. I haven't had a car up until like a year ago.
Just to get the thing moved.
Yeah, right? I used to boombox it on my shoulder. I made a caddy for it. Sometimes I have it on a bike, But no matter what, I'm not bringing an amp with me. I did for a long time. That's how you keep this physique.
Oh my God.
In the South. But you get all that there. I'm not bringing an amp as well. So what I do is I have my upright bass has a full circle Fishman pickup in it.
Inside
so the
it,
actual
yeah.
riser on
Yeah.
the bridge is the pickup.
Wow, yeah,
And it's
Fishman-
amazing, but
they make really good guitar pickups too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a good guitar player, but I know a good Fishman pickup for
Right.
sure. Yeah,
The full circle pickup's really good. It's part of the bridge. So it picks up everything, picks up the slaps just as well as everything else. And then I have a Fishman preamp. It's a Pro Platinum EQ from like, I'd say early 2000s. It looks like it's from the 90s. That's why I like it. But it has like an equalizer on it, compression, and it's got depth. You can do everything. If you don't like what the sound guy did, you can kind of
tweak it yourself.
Tweak it yourself and be like, I like the scoop in the middle. I don't know about you. But
okay.
Yeah, it's a bass instrument. I don't need to hear all that treble.
Cool. Now, do you ever play anything other than the upright bass? I mean, have you ever been like an electric bass player? Like
before I picked up upright, I'd been playing electric bass since I was like 13 years old. Mainly, I'm influenced heavily by Les Claypool. I was listening to Primus since I was in second grade.
Yeah,
I've been to probably 20 of their shows. That's the only one I've been to. Every show.
Have you heard the stuff that he's done with Lennon's?
Oh yeah. They actually came through New Orleans not too long ago. That's the great thing about being down there too. I just
you get so many great shows go through there.
I get to go see all the shows if I'm off that night.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But I played electric bass for a long time. I was actually in a funk group in Flagstaff for 3 or 4 years.
Say that 3 times in a row.
The Infidelics.
That's a great band name.
The Infidelics Funk Group with Infidelics.
But it was great. That was a really fun group. We played a lot of Meters tunes, which was interesting because then years later moved down to New Orleans and I'm watching the Meters all the time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. When you're playing bass, what do you play?
I've got a '73 Fender Jazz bass.
So that's your electric bass.
Yeah. Stand up was just completely foreign to me, and I've never really understood it. But so I usually use that one. I have another one. It's an Ibanez Roadstar that I actually took the frets out of and refinished them with the standard 6 layers of green varnish and all that. And
nice.
Yeah, and it sounds fairly decent, but I almost always play the Fender Jazz just because it's just it's heavy, but it's still lightweight compared to P basses and whatnot. And the neck is one of the thinnest necks on a bass I've ever played before. So it just seems to
don't need the huge hand. And it's easier to get around.
Just have a badass 2 bridge on it too, which really keeps everything almost in tune almost forever.
Really?
So,
yeah. All right. Cool.
A 6-string bass.
Grab that mic, Clark.
Does that mean anything to either of you?
I've seen them. I've seen people play them, and those who play them are amazing.
I feel like they're generally though for metal bands and things like that. I feel like, but maybe not. Clark, what do you think?
I was wondering.
No, I'm just wondering where I've. Yeah.
Well, Anthony Jackson, I think, plays a 6-string, and he was playing in a trio with Hiromi, and I can't remember who the drummer was. But yeah, she was doing a tour back around 2010 or so, and they were played Monterey Jazz Festival. And
I guess I remember seeing Jordan.
Amazing stuff.
Stanley Jordan. I remember seeing him
Jordan,
years back, and he was playing 5 or 6 back then. But that was that's a long time ago too, actually, when I saw him. But at any rate,
yeah. There's a couple other players that do 6-string fretless, and that's when it's like you don't even need a band because you're pretty much the centerpiece.
That's amazing.
So especially as a bass player, I don't know about you, but every show I go to, I feel bad because I'm only looking at the bass player in the show, critiquing and not listening to the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's the curse.
All right, look, we've heard a little bit from everybody, at least. Artists that are going to be playing the first 4 of the show next weekend. Once again, the Mo Jazz Festival coming to you at Rose Park next Saturday afternoon and evening. And we've got one more artist we're going to share with you this afternoon. His name is Lao Tizer, and outstanding band. Jeff, I'll let you fill in and tell us a little bit about Lao and his gang, and then we'll play a song from them.
Lao had actually contacted us back in the early 2000s when we were sort of floundering in Jeff City. We'd kind of lost our focus and actually lost our funding, but we were still able to keep the thing going, but it got a lot smaller.
They don't always happen in that order.
Yeah. True.
Sometimes you lose your funding before you lose. In fact, and that's what causes the loss of focus. But at any rate,
But because last year we brought in Ghost Note, which has a couple of members from
outstanding. I'm familiar.
Snarky Puppy.
Oh yeah, really good.
And Lao saw that apparently and gave me a call and said, "Hi, and I said I'm familiar with your name."
I actually came to you guys. Fantastic.
And it said
that's a great feeling when that happens.
Oh yeah.
You know, and as a side note, I always encourage musicians to get in touch with me to come onto this radio program. And you'd be surprised how rarely they do. It's nice when they actually say, "Hey, Mike, I'd love to, here's some stuff we'd like to be on the show." But please, if you're out there, that's what we do here. Saturday afternoons, 4 to 6, we share local regional music and the artists that are making it. And I'd love to have you down here and share your music with everybody else. So please don't be shy. And it's a great feeling for, like Jeff is saying, when somebody contacts you and say, "Hey, I'd like to be a part of your project," or "I'd like to come and do that." Well, for me, it's the same thing. It's like maybe you're like kind of scared to approach me. I'm looking for people it makes me feel good to have you come and tell me that you'd like to share your music. So please don't be shy and don't just do it. Okay. Anyway,
it's nice to know that people are listening.
Oh yeah.
And
they are. Trust me. And yeah, for sure. I mean, I get a lot of comments about this program. Most of them are good. I joke about it, but most of them are good. Yeah, the ones that aren't are usually, "Mike, you talk too much." I always say it. It's like, "Mike, just shut up and play the music." But anyway, yeah.
So Lao contacted us, I guess the tail end of last year, and we were finally able to be in a position where we could come up with a decent amount of money and be able to bring them in. And like I said, our board, we have 9 board members. It's all volunteer. There's no paid staff. All the money goes towards the Jazz Festival. We've been trying to include, we used to have a Jazz in the Schools program. It was called Jazz on Wheels. We had that in Jeff City.
Yeah, I remember.
But once we moved up here, we haven't established that yet because we're still trying to get our, solid footing here, which has been pretty good. City's been really good with us. The state has been helping us out with grants as well. There are some businesses around here that have also been helping us. And real quick, I have a deck of cards.
Can I ask you a question that you don't have to answer it on the air? Maybe you can answer it off the air if you can't do it on the air. But,
sure.
But I'm curious about what it costs to get a good artist to come to a show like that, like this.
We had been up until we moved it up here. We had just been staying with Missouri musicians, and it really is a big gamut. We had folks from as little as $525, but that was more of a local band, but like an up and coming band, for example.
Sure.
But the biggest one we had once we moved it up here was actually Ghost Note, and they were in the thousands. I mean, it was 4 figures.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But it was in the upper 4 figures. So
okay, I understand.
Right, and then also hotels on top of that.
Sure,
and all that other stuff.
Travel expenses and all that. Yeah.
So it's not easy.
And a deli tray.
We did have to buy them dinner, but
M&Ms.
Yeah. Well. The one thing about it was, oh God, I forgot what it was again. So anyway,
well, I tell you what, let's play one from Lao,
yeah,
and then we're going to come back and kind of wrap things up. We're going to chat with Matt for a few more minutes. I'm going to play one from a record that he shared with us this afternoon, and then we're going to turn it over to Ross Shumba and a reggae party, baby. Coming at you, all right? 6 to 8, best in roots rock reggae. Right now, though, more from the Jazz Festival coming up this next Saturday, the 9th of September. Mo Jazz down at Rose Park, going to be awesome. And here's one of the headliner. Well, the headliner.
The headliner, right? They've got a 90-minute set. The recordings I got were I got them online. It's from the NAMM show from earlier this year, and the reason I got that is because Elliot Yamin, who was a singer in the 2006 American Idol.
Again, Matt's shaking his head.
I've been to NAMM a couple times.
Okay, all right.
Well, anyway, they played, and they had some people were recording it. I guess with their phones, but it actually recorded out pretty nice. And they're doing a cover of like "In the Name of Love" with Elliot Yamin, and that's the first time I was able to find him singing with the group, and he's going to be singing with them at our event.
He'll actually be here this weekend.
He'll be here next weekend.
Fantastic. All right. That's it. All right. Lao Tizer, and this is "In the Name of Love." It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Back in a few minutes. All right.
I said, how you feeling? One may come in the name of love. One may come and go. One may come here to justify. One may to overthrow. In the name of love. One more in the name of love. In the name of love. One more in the name of on a barbed wire fence. One day he resists. One man washed up on an empty piece. One man betrayed with a kiss. In the name of love. One more in the name of love. In the name
All right, you're catching us off the air there. Lao Tizer. Awesome. The vocals on that, Jeff. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, originally we were just going to have an instrumental 4-piece, but he happens to be touring. And this tour, he keeps switching out different musicians, whoever's available to take whatever short, like 2 or 3 week tour they do, and then they go back and have their family lives and then go on the road again. Right. And it just so happens that the day before our gig, they're playing in North Carolina, and Elliot Yamin was going to be playing with them. So they asked, just in passing, can you think you can come up with a little bit of something for him? We thought, you know what? Sure. So we were able to come up with a little extra money to bring them here. So.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, you guys, we are getting up against the clock here, so I'm going to check in with Jeff one more time and say, let's make sure we bring everyone up to speed on what's happening next Saturday.
Saturday, September 9 at Rose Music Hall's outdoor stage is Jazz Forward Initiative's Mo Jazz Music Festival. Doors open at noon. Music starts at 1. We have 5 groups: Samantha Fierke, the Bel Airs, Don Weber and Good Company, Jonathan Scales Fourchestra, and Lao Tizer Band featuring Eric Marienthal and Elliot Yamin. It's free.
All freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Every person that he just mentioned is outstanding in their art. So,
yeah.
I mean, this is a remarkable opportunity for free. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd pay a cover for each of them individually.
Is that not right?
And I'm a broke musician.
I mean it. And this is a guy who plays the stuff. So, yeah. Okay.
So like I said, free, open to the public, family friendly.
On the web at mojazz.com, I think.
.net. Mojazz.net.
Okay,
and,
mojazz.net.
Got a website, and Rose has also put it up on their website as well.
Okay, very good. Okay, well, there you have it. Do you want to give out any contact information just in case?
Yeah, if you want to talk to me and have any questions about it, just call my cell 573-338-1937.
Another courageous guest on Open Mic Radio, giving his phone.
I'm already getting nasty phone calls, so it's just going to be like anybody else.
Burner phone?
And then burner phone, really. Yeah.
Or Jeff's burner phone number, by the way.
mojazzinfo@gmail.com.
Okay.
Mojazzinfo, all one word.
Fantastic. All right, Jeff, thank you for coming down. I appreciate it. All right.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot.
All right, no doubt. Okay, so we got a few more minutes, though, and we've been talking to Matt Deathrow on and off during the show this afternoon, and I just met Matt a couple days ago, and I said early in the show he's a good friend's son and a friend of and his brother's a good friend too. But anyway, he's a musician who makes his way down in New Orleans most of the time. He's up here for good reasons, and I got a little bit of music and we don't even know what we're going to play.
No, we don't, because this is fresh from mastering, so they didn't even put the names of the titles on it when I got it downloaded and everything.
And I'm just looking at the time, so I'm going to play a song here.
Play whatever you want.
3 minutes and 40 seconds.
It might be blues. It might be jazz.
I love it.
But if it's jazz, it's discount jazz, because that's the kind we play.
Discount jazz. I love it.
Accessible.
Okay, so but for people who aren't familiar, you're a professional musician down there with a lot of projects. Play the bass, and you're heading back down there. How soon are you going?
I mean, I'm gonna try to make it back for Halloween because it's just too epic down there. But
really, is Halloween crazy down there?
They celebrate it for a month. They're actually already started right now, probably. I mean, as soon as it cools off, they're like Halloween. But yeah, as soon as I get my cast off, I'm gonna go back down there, try to play some tuba in a couple bands, maybe just work soundboards. But it's hard to be out of the scene there for too long.
I'll bet. All right. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, and
for having me.
Good to see you again. And you have an open invitation if you're ever back in town. Come see us.
Be careful,
and say hi. All right, be careful. That's right. Okay, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Stick around. Rosh Shumba coming at you. All right, a reggae party. My email address is mikehagan@mikehagan.com, and the website, podcast, all that stuff. Send me music, please, okay? And that's it. You've been listening to Open Mic Radio here on KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. I hope you all enjoy the weekend. Be cool to yourself, all right? And be cool to other people out there. Stick around. Rosh Shumba, and we'll catch y'all next week. Or will we? No, next week is the second week of the month, so we give it up for Rockabilly Corner, Big Cat Matt, and you'll hear some, remarkable understanding and knowledge of the music that he's playing. This guy Matt Deal, he does Rockabilly Corner Saturdays from 4 to 6 on the second Saturday of the month. It's the one Saturday that I don't do it, but dang, I mean, check it out. He really knows it. So, all right, okay, yeah. I would normally say, Kurt, take us out of here, because Kurt would be here to play a song for us, but I'm going to play one now from Matt Deathrew. Check it out.
Well, I bet you're going fishing all of the time. Baby's going fishing too. I bet your life, your sweet wife, I'm gonna catch more fish than you. Well, many fish bite if you got good bait. Here's a little tip that I'd like to relate. Many fish bite, got good bait. I'm a go fishing, yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too. I went on down to my favorite fishing hole. Baby grabbed me pole and line. Throw my pole on in, caught a 9-pound catfish. Brought it on home. Supper time singing many fish bites if you got good bait. Here's a little tip that I'd like to relate. Many fish bite, got good bait. I'm a go fishing, yes, I'm go fishing. My baby's go fishing too. Well, my baby's little brother is about to got me on my mind. He said, I come fishing with you. Just like that too. Took him on down to the fishing hole. What do you think that he did do? Pulled a great big fish out the bottom of the pond. Jumped and laughed as he was real gone. Many fish bait, got good bait. I'm a go fishing, yes, I'm go fishing. My baby's go fishing too. Well, you put 'em in a pot, baby, put 'em in a pan, and honey, cook 'em till it's nice and brown. Make a whole batch full of milk, cold cakes, mama, shooting things up, and chomp 'em on down, singing many fish bite if you got good bait. Here's a little tip.